Alright guys, so I wanted to look at today all of our draft picks and what have they done so far. So what we're going to have today, each draft pick we have taken, all 7 of them, all 8 of them, including 2 5th-round picks. And we're going to see what does Pro Football Focus grade them at right now, how many snaps have they had, and in my personal opinion on what do I think about them right now. You know, obviously today we have a tough game versus the 49ers. Keep in mind we'll be live at 4:20 today for the game. But with that being said, let's start off right away with Myles Murphy. So Myles Murphy was a very interesting pick for the Bengals, right? I feel like Bengals fans were very split when they took him because a lot of people said, wow, you could have went Sam Laporta or Michael Mayer, right? You could have went with one of those 2 options, and a lot of people were probably in that boat. But it was the potential and the hidden potential of what Myles Murphy could be. He's a versatile linebacker, edge rusher out of Clemson. He can really be put in any situation possible. He had a lot of coverage snaps in Clemson and a lot of snaps of just getting after the quarterback. So because of that, and keep in mind he could have been a top 5 pick if not for injury, people were very excited about him going into the season. Well, after 7 weeks, that's including a bye week, he currently sits at 66 snaps on the season, and Pro Football Focus hits him at a 54.6 grade. Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest rookie season for him, right? And he was a first-round pick, obviously. You got to give him some time to develop, and I'm hoping that, the second half of the season he really gets going in some way, and maybe year 2 is the year where he really takes off. But so far, for what we needed him to be, which was a come in, be an instant pass rusher and successful pass rusher for us, it really hasn't worked out as well as we would hope it would too, right? And a lot of that is we had Joseph Asai, who got hurt early in the season, so he wasn't in there. So it was almost like a gift to him as Myles Murphy here, where it's like, listen, you normally would be in a rotation with, Joseph Asai and Akeem Davis-Gaither and a lot of other guys, but because of injuries, you are now getting the blossom of starting for this team, and he hasn't really taken advantage of it. And I feel like a lot of the reasons why he hasn't got many snaps is because he hasn't looked that great in practice. He hasn't looked that great on the field. And, listen, we're going to put the best guys out there possible, right? Lou Anarumo doesn't mess around. If he doesn't think you're the best option, he's not going to put you in there just because you were a first-round pick. He's going to put in the best guys he thinks can go out there and win him the games. And Cam Sample has been playing very good football. And when Cam Sample is really stepping up and showing out, well, why would you put in Myles Murphy if Cam Sample is looking better? Cam Sample is getting after the quarterback. He's causing pass pressures in that game. And, that's why we're seeing a lot of that is, again, less Myles Murphy. So it is what it is at the end of the day, but first round pick so far hasn't really been hitting. Here's our superstar guy so far, is our second round pick. And that's DJ Turner. Now, DJ Turner was, first off, when we got him, I think every Bengals fan was excited, okay? We were all excited about getting him. Because he's fast as anything, he has speed, and he has really good coverage ability. Pair that with the fact that Cheeto, starting off this year, has been dealing with injuries to his back. So he hasn't been able to be 100%. And Lou Anarumo last year said it best, he would never rotate a safety in the corner. Well, because of everything going on, he has to. And DJ Turner was that guy who had to step up, take over for, the injured Cheeto, and become a starter on this team. And that's not easy for a second-round corner to do. To go from a rookie a rookie from college, now to the NFL, to now, guess what, buddy? You're now the starter. And DJ Turner has taken that opportunity and blossomed. He's a 62.3 grade by Pro Football Focus, and that's because he's played 236 snaps, Okay, he's played a lot of snaps in the NFL right now. And we looked at him compared to, around a week and a half ago, compared to all the other cornerbacks. He is the second-ranked cornerback in the NFL. Third-ranked cornerback behind Christian Gonzalez and Devon Witherspoon when it comes to rookie cornerbacks in the NFL that got drafted this last year, the first 2 rounds. He's showing off, man. He's showing off, and to be the third-ranked cornerback in a draft in those 2 first rounds, which obviously, listen, for a second round, there's a lot of corners selected. It's just amazing. And that's what we really needed. We needed a cornerback to come in, take over. I mean, there was rumors of us taking a cornerback in the first round, right? And we wouldn't have gotten DJ Turner probably in the second round. So it worked out in the end there. All right, third round pick, Jordan Battle. Now, Jordan Battle has been an interesting situation because last week he didn't get as many snaps, especially coming off of the Cardinals game and the Titans game where he got a lot of snaps, right? And he got a lot of snaps in week 2 versus the Ravens when Nick Scott went down with an injury. And there was all that talk about like, oh, well, now he's going to get a lot more time out there and snaps out there because of the fact that he's really showing off in practice, showing off in games. And then it was like last week, it just kind of like went downhill. Like his snap count just dropped drastically. Not sure about what happened there. But at the same time, those 60 snaps on the season, 78 overall grade by Pro Football Focus. When he's on the field, he plays good football. He does. And, for a third-round pick, you usually don't expect too much from them. But you got to keep in mind this guy came from a very prestigious school in college. He played at a very high level in college. So I'm not surprised in any way that he comes to the NFL. I believe he came from Michigan, if I am correct. So I'm not surprised when he comes to the NFL. He's already on that kind of game level of the NFL coming into this year. So very awesome. Again, like I said, 78 overall grade. Highest grade of all of our rookies on this list so far. And that's not surprising. Number 4. This was our fourth round draft pick, and it's Chuck Sizzle. Now, this is kind of misleading, I will say, in a way, because he did, of course, have special team snaps, but they don't have that listed. So, special team snaps-wise, he did have 1 punt return for a touchdown. Other than that, he really hasn't done anything on special teams. He has 3 snaps on offense, a 59.6 grade, and right now he currently is on IR. He's been on IR for the last couple of weeks, and we don't know when he's going to return, or if he's going to return, we don't know. So he could potentially be on IR for the foreseeable future. It sucks. It really does, because it's like, him and Yoshi were supposed to be the guys who come in and take over for potentially leaving and losing T. Higgins, right? Potentially losing Tyler Boyd. It was supposed to be, okay, well, if we lose those guys, no big deal. We got Chuck Sizzle and we got Yoshi to take over. And Yoshi's been playing good football. He got his first touchdown last week. But other than that, it's like everyone else wishy-washy when it comes to everyone else is obviously Chuck Sizzle. When it comes to, utilizing him that much. I mean, 3 snaps on the year, it's not, really his fault in that aspect, but it is what it is. Chase Brown, the guy who just got put on IR and now will be out for probably at least 4, 5, 6 weeks from now. He at least has to be out for 4 weeks because he's on the IR. He has had 8 snaps on the season, 52.7 grade. Disappointing, really, because as of recently, we found out that they're going to start utilizing him a lot more and getting him out there and getting more snaps and reps. So it was exciting because I was like, oh, wow, okay, he finally is getting his chance to show us how good he is. And then he gets hurt and he's on the IR with a hamstring injury. And he's going to be out for a long time. And it really sucks, too, because I feel like once we heard that we were going to start utilizing him, it was like, okay, under center, utilize Chase Brown. This is actually a really good thing. And it's like, oh, wait, no, he's out for the season now. Yeah. It is what it is. We think about the fact we didn't take a tight end at all in this draft. So, Brad Robbins, I mean, he's a starter. There isn't a snap count for punters. I hate to say that. And grade, there isn't a grade for Pro Football Focus for punters. Like, it just doesn't exist. Yoshi! Well, Yoshi, he had his first touchdown last week. He really has shown up for injuries when it comes to T. Higgins being injured. He has 55 snaps on the year, 57.6 grade. Most of his snaps have come the last 2 weeks of the season. Last 2 weeks with T. Higgins going down from injury. And it's exciting because he is probably the future of this team over Chuck Sizzle. And I think, he has the best chance possible in this team to be that new wide receiver trio of Chuck Sizzle, Yoshi. Oh, sorry, no, I'm bad. Tyler, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Yoshi. That's what I'm trying to say. And then our last pick, Poison Ivy. He's played 1 snap this year so far, 60 overall grade. He is on the 53-man roster, but every game except for the last 2, he has been inactive. He played 1 snap versus the Cardinals and 0 versus the Seahawks. So he's only been active 2 times this whole entire year, and it was the last 2 weeks. And I don't think many people even realize he played 1 snap versus the Cardinals, but he did. So, I mean, he's not really on the field. Like, there's nothing really you could talk about there other than the fact the guy never sees the field. Really, the only guy who sees the field out of all of draft picks now is Z.J. Turner. No one else really sees it. Like, and when I say Myles Murphy's 66 snaps, keep in mind that's over 7 weeks of the season. That's the equivalent of, let me just do the math real fast, 9.4 snaps a game. And some of those games he's had like 3 or 4 snaps. In some of the games he had like 17 snaps. So it is what it is. We really need to see these guys step up the rest of the season. Obviously, no Chase Brown and no Chuck Sizzle. But everybody else throughout the rest of the season, we really need to see them step up because we need a lot for this draft class. And so far, we're getting weird returns, okay? Weird returns so far. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.